Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Gabrielle. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. If you are new to the show or if you are returning to the show, let me just tell you what Hot Topics is about. So, this is the show where we like to have real talk about real things. We like to bring on guests from multiple walks of life. They come on and they talk about a variety of important issues. We tend to focus on entrepreneurship, education, physical health, mental health. So we tend to kind of stay in that purview there. But I like to bring on a variety of people, and we like to have a lot of difficult conversations as well as open conversations about a lot of things that are important out there. And I like to use my platform to talk about a lot of those things. So today is a special episode because I have trying to get my thoughts together. So this is actually the first time that I have multiple guests on my show. If you've pay attention to my previous episodes, I've always had one guest, right? So now today is different in that I have multiple guests. So I'm figuring that out as we go along. So that's kind of a twist today. And I'm looking forward to introducing all those guests to you guys. So first, let me tell you I actually don't have the banner. Oh, that's okay. All right, so let me just tell you the topic of the show. So the topic of the show is actually a repeat topic. This is the 7th time that I have brought this topic, and I am bringing it back again. So the topic is, what am I doing wrong as an entrepreneur? So I'm going to repeat that again. I'm going to put up the banner a little bit later in the show, but I'm going to tell you that topic once again, just to make sure you guys catch it. What am I doing wrong as an entrepreneur? That is the topic for today. And I have several guests with me who is going to help me with that conversation. So I'm going to bring them up one at a time. I'm going to have them introduce themselves, tell you about themselves, and then we're gonna hash it out. So I'm going to start out with my first guest. I'm going to start with Glennetta Nichols. I'm going to bring her to the forefront, and I'm going to have her tell you guys about herself. Hi, Glennetta. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, everyone. My name is Glennetta Nichols. I am the owner of Lifeline Consulting Firm. I'm a financial coach, a wealth strategist. I teach financial literacy to everyone around the world. I enjoy doing it. That is something that I'm very passionate about, and I am just pleased to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Fabulous. Fabulous. All right. Next up, I'm going to bring up, well, she calls herself Wallie, so I'm going to bring her to the stage as well. All right, Wallie, how you doing? Oh, you're on mute.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So please introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, well, my name is Wallie Garrett. Everyone calls me Wallie, and I'm the owner of Affiliate Girl 2023.
All right. Fabulous. Fabulous. All right. Next up, I'm going to bring up Lewis Hunt. So let me bring him to the stage. Hey, how you doing, Lewis?
I'm doing good. How about yourself? Thank you for having me on. My name is Louis Hunt. I'm the CEO of Fly by Night Apparel. The motto is work hard by day, get fly by night, and it's a clothing brand for individuals on an everyday grind. So basically, just a motivational clothing brand.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And lastly, I'm going to bring up Dyeshia Moore. Dyeshia, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
All right. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
And so my name is Dyeshia Moore. I am an event planner. Sorry, I am the owner of Black Tie Affairs LLC. I am an event planner, so I conduct community events. I do event decorations. I also do event planning, day of coordinating, and I do event rentals. And my goal is to educate as many people as I can educate across the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that, you guys. All right, so we have multiple guests on with us today. So we are here to talk about entrepreneurship, and I got my banner, so I'm just going to put it up there one more time. Oh, I did not mean to do that as a ticker. Okay. One second. All right, there we go. What am I doing wrong as an entrepreneur? Part 7. I got my banner. Beautiful. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So there were a few other people that were supposed to join us, but technical difficulties. So we're just going to kind of move on. Maybe they'll join in a little bit later. All right. So I am going to pose the question to the panel. Any one of you guys can jump in. So let's just jump right into it. What are we doing wrong as entrepreneurs?
Well, the biggest thing is not having a actual brand. I see a lot of people go into business thinking, they can just start up a business without actually building a brand. And when you look at the most successful businesses, whether it's Nike or um Jordan, they have a brand behind them. So the most important part about building a business is, to me, building an actual brand itself. That's a real important part of it.
So I'm going to pick at that a bit. So when you say building a brand, what is that? How would you define a brand?
Okay, well, like my brand, okay, my brand is geared towards is a motivational brand geared towards people on the everyday grind. So um I would say having an actual purpose, having an actual mission statement. When you look at, the people that's most successful at what they do, um, they, I would say, they have a way to captivate, their audience. They have a way to captivate their customers because a lot of people are successful because not only does the customer like the product, but the customer actually likes that person as well. Um, you look at like places like McDonald's and fast food restaurants, right? It's many mom and pop stores that have better food than them, but because of their brand, the quality of the food doesn't have to be that good because they have an actual brand behind them.
So the food may not be that good, but because people know about them and because they're popular, people go towards them more. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Hmm. Okay. Anyone else want to jump in, piggyback off of that?
Okay, so I would like to jump in. Can you all hear me? Sorry, I got a little background noise.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I believe one thing that a lot of big entrepreneurs are doing wrong is having good customer service. Customer service is not what it used to be anymore, especially with a lot of business owners. And it's just I feel like it has gone down. I don't feel like a lot of business owners value the customers as much as they should, because at the end of the day, that's what's making your brand become bigger and better. Either if it's from critiques, if it's from good reviews, if it's from different experiences, the customer service within any company is how you expand and build. If you have no good customer service skills, then your brand is not going. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I've experienced a lot, a different just small businesses that just does not take pride in their business in the customer service department.
So I'm gonna pick at that. So customer service, how would you define that?
Customer service, how would I define it? It's basically, I'm gonna say this is the exact it's the exact word in a nutshell. Customer service. You're serving the customer. No matter if you have a product based or if you have a service based business, you're serving the customer. But you're serving the customer in a manner that you take pride. I think the main thing is taking pride in your company. It reflects and shows with your customers, with your brand, with your quality products, all different things. It's like customer service. A lot of things that we do have as far as critiques. Some people, a lot of business owners don't take criticism very well. And I think that's a big key factor when it comes to customer service because that's the only way you can build and, rebrand or go back to the drawing board and make it better.
So one of the things that you mentioned about customer service is being able to take criticism, take critique. So if someone has a problem with your brand and they tell you that problem, some entrepreneurs don't handle it well. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am, that's exactly what I'm saying. Some entrepreneurs will even close down their business because of it, because they can't handle or don't know how to um, handle those type of customers, those adverse customers that they have.
So when you say that it's going down, so it's not what it used to be, what are people doing? What are people doing now that people didn't do back then?
Okay, so customer service. I'm gonna say I just experienced something today. I bought some egg rolls from a business owner. It was just like a chicken egg roll, whatever. But in the middle of the egg roll, it was cold. So my thing about that, when I came back to tell, this business owner about it, it was just like I don't take pride or upset kind of demeanor to me. Like it was my fault that, that happened. That's what I'm saying. Like versus I'm gonna say back in the day, I'm gonna say probably like 5 to 10 years ago, everyone wanted a business. Everyone was popping up with, small businesses, so they took more pride into it. And it seems like gradually a lot of business owner has come out of that, and that's why mostly those business owners don't stay in that field. They don't stay in the industry, or they don't stay as a business at all because it's like whatever they feel they want to do, they're gonna do it because it's their business. If that makes sense.
So it's sounding like, I mean, which is pretty common especially when it comes to food. Um, it wasn't prepared right. It was cold. You told the business owner, and it sounded like they had an attitude. Okay, so as opposed to saying, I apologize, let me make it over. You know, I don't, I don't want you to have a bad experience with my food. Okay, so it's taking criticism. It's apologizing for making mistakes. It's um, being open to change, doing things over, things like that.
And I think taking pride too, because you can go to a clothing brand and you can get clothes with vinyl, and then the vinyl can be coming off, So it all depends on quality too. So they're just taking pride in your business, and of course, all of us as entrepreneurs going to go through those different customers, but it allows us to improve the business because you're taking that critique like, okay, so this vinyl, I might need to use a different type of vinyl or a different type of material on my clothing brand, so that way I don't counter that issue anymore. If that makes sense.
So it's a sense of loving what you do, right? So
Definitely.
it's not just kind of being haphazard and lazy about it. and loving what you do to the point that you will invest the time and invest the energy to make those changes to improve the brand.
Yes,
Is
of
that what
course.
you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. All right. Anyone else want to jump in? Glennetta, Wallie.
Yes, yes, yes. So I would say building good relationships, right, is what's going to build your business. Started to piggyback off of what Dyeshia said. When you build a good, positive relationship with someone, that's actually going to build a good business. It's going to make you flourish. That's some things that I have learned in entrepreneurship. And then another thing that I wanted to piggyback off of was Lewis. It's your target audience, right? Because when you first get into a business, you have to know who your target audience is. Of course, everyone wants to reach everybody, but at the time, as you are building, what's your target audience? Who are you trying to pull in at the time? And then once you do that, you go from there. And then another thing, it's okay. And another thing that I know I'm probably saying a lot of things at one time, but another thing that I want to be is being as though I'm in the financial industry, it's been well diverse and well confidence, knowledge, right? So once you have the knowledge that you need that you can share with someone, one that builds your confidence. So whenever you're speaking, when you're engaging, when you are networking, a lot of times fear stops someone from actually speaking to someone who they should probably speak to, maybe a connection that will help your business flourish. So it's a for me, I know it's networking, being confident, knowing the knowledge that you're given because it's beneficial, right? And so those are the just of the three things that I wanted to touch on.
All right. So you said a mouthful there, so I gotta take things piece by piece. All right. So you talked about building relationships, and also you said an interesting one, which is finding your target audience. Can you delve more into that? Like as an entrepreneur, wouldn't we want to serve everybody? What's wrong with serving everybody?
So there's nothing wrong with serving everybody. Of course, you want to serve everyone. Like, for instance, let me just use me because I like to use myself and I like to be transparent. Financial literacy, that's something that everyone can benefit off of, right? But not everyone is ready to receive it. Not everyone is open to receive it. So, yes, I am spreading financial literacy, but at the time, the ones that are actually ready to receive will be the ones who say, if I'm teaching on retirement, then my target audience will be those that's 50 to 65 that's getting ready for retirement, that's around that age that I need, that I know is open to receive the information that I'm going to give to them at that time. If I am teaching on college plans, and of course my target audience is going to be mothers, it's going to be grandmothers. If I am teaching on long-term care, then of course my audience is going to be the geriatric community or those that are close that this may be beneficial to, because I can't go to someone who is preparing for retirement and teach them about college plans. That wouldn't be the target audience for that.
Right. So you want, so based on what you're selling, or based on what you are producing, you want to find the audience that will be the most receptive.
Yes.
And you also talked about fear. Can you talk more about that?
Yes. Fear is a major thing that will definitely hold an entrepreneur back. One, fear of the what if thoughts, right? What if they don't receive this? What if they turn me down? What if they reject me? What if I reach objection? Which, when you're an entrepreneur, you're gonna come face to face with all of those things, but you just have to overcome them.
And so what so should we just kind of go in like superhero, fearless, ready to take on the world? Is there some situations where maybe some fear is okay, like, or should we just kind of dive in?
Now that is individualized. That is person by person based, right? It depends. It depends on what are you offering to the audience. What are you engaging in? Sometimes it's okay. I say fear is a setback though. Fear is a setback. Fear is something to keep you bound so that you won't spread, so that you will not reach your full potential. Am I saying go out there and be superhuman, superhero, Thor, all of that? No, I'm not. But just remember, fear is something that's gonna hold you back. So just, if you have to take it a step at a time, if you baby steps, small steps, whatever the case may be, do it until you reach your potential. And I mean, honestly, reaching your potential is always going to be ongoing. You never want to limit yourself, so continue to, you reach a certain target, okay, well, let's up that level just a little bit more, let's move fear out the way, and let's go a little further until you reach your potential.
Okay, okay, beautiful, beautiful. All right, Wally, you're the last one.
Well, it's funny I'm the last one here because I'm usually the last one in our interviews as well because I like to listen and see what everybody's putting out. So I'm gonna try to tie all this together for you. Basically, you need a plan. You need a plan because you could do everything at once and get not one thing done. So that just kills your whole business right there. And then the fear comes that I cannot be successful because you've jammed everything in and gotten nothing accomplished. And it is true, you do need a brand. The brand is you. You have to sell yourself. People are buying you. If you cannot sell yourself, you can never be successful in the business. So then when you're thinking about, okay, I have this brand now, I'm starting this business. Okay, this is my customer base that I would like. How would I like to treat my customers? That goes into training your employees. If you have no system in your business, then you're not going to know how to treat the customers because the head is not going to know how to teach the tail. So then it's just going to all be hogwash. Then you have to form a relationship with your customers, just like with the egg roll, whether they had seen Dyeshia 100 times or just one time. But that one time to say, hey, throw that egg roll away. I will be glad to cook another one for you right now to be an extra 20 minutes. Hey, would you like some cookies while you wait? That right there may cost her to come every single time to that place to get that egg roll. And that's one of their customers they'll have for life. And so, yes, you have to put everything together and make a plan. You cannot have anything successful without a plan. And you know what it is? We have social media now. Everything is in our face. Make $10,000 a month, make $20,000 a month. I made $100,000 in 3 days. And so, guess what? Everyone thinks they can do that. That is not reality. You have to have a plan. You have to stop and think about it. I always tell people to start a business, you need a 5-year plan. Not saying you're going to do everything in 5 years, but you need to picture yourself from this moment, I'm going to start my business and what I'm going to look like in 5 years. What's that going to do? It's going to get your brain to thinking, how am I going to build this? Because I have a foundation and I need to keep building until I get the roof on this thing. And then I have a business. So if you cannot do that as a plan, then you need to step back and wait and think hard because you can fail at a business and still be successful, but you cannot successfully build a business without a plan, period.
Interesting. So, in terms of planning, so if you had someone come to you and say, "I want to start a business,"
Mm-hmm.
what would you tell them?
I would say, hey, one, have you thought about what type of business? Okay, I would like to do flowers. All right. So, what do you want to sell in this shop? Flowers. Mm-mm. What do you want to sell in this shop? Flowers. No, you're thinking about the product already done. You want to sell yourself. How you see yourself as that customer, the owner, the employee? You have to put yourself in each aspect of that business and plan it because the end product is already going to be flowers. But how do we get to that? That's what you need to start with yourself. And you have to make sure yourself is ready because you could scare yourself with one word and be done. You know, Glennetta's right. But if you sell yourself first and say, okay, I'm going to do this, I want this to be my logo, this to be my plan, I want this type of this, ABC, XYZ, then you can start to feel like, okay, I'm putting it together. But if you just say, I want the end, you're taking the cart before the horse. So then you can't get to the end without a plan. You just can't.
So, you're saying something interesting in that uh, you for someone to have a well as part of the plan, the goal is to narrow that plan to a very specific goal, right? So,
Yes.
with your example of flowers, I want to sell flowers. No, right? Because what does
Mm-hmm.
that mean? So the goal? Like, where do you want to sell the flowers? Is it just the flowers? Is it the way you're putting the flowers together? Is it so
Right.
it's
Are you going to have delivery? Is it going to be pickup? Is it going to be only online? Are you going to have a brick and mortar? You have to, and you know why I say all of this? Because I have done the multi-level marketing before. So I can tell you, I tried to have my hand in every little pot I could find. And I realized after about 2 years of that, I had no plan. All I did was grab what everybody, hey, you want to do? Yes. You know, Wallie loves to say, yes, but I had no plan. So the thing is, I had to step back and say, look, you've got to plan this out. So that's why I always tell people that's great. You want to start a business, but you have to have a plan. And I always say a 5-year plan is good because it'll get you thinking from the beginning right now until the end of that 5 years. And then that 3 years, think about another 5 years. And then that way, you're working on your customer service, you're working on your brand, you're working on your logo, you're working on relationships. And because we already know the end result, you want to sell flowers. You don't have to think about that. You already know you're going to sell flowers. Let's get to the point that's going to keep you in business and be successful to keep selling the flowers. That's the whole point of a plan.
So how do you plan 5 years? Because you don't even know what tomorrow will bring. So how do you plan 5 years?
Well, the reason you do that is it takes 3 to 5 years for a company to be solid. So if they're in business 3 to 5 years, they're most likely going to be successful. And the reason you do that is because you can see what may come ahead. You can work for that. If you're just saying, I'm going to be in business, you're right. We don't know what 2 seconds from now is going to happen. But if I don't think that I can make a goal happen, then I'm not going to work for it. If I just say, you know what, dog, 30 days later, that flower shop didn't work, I'm done. Bump it. What did you work for? You had no goal, you had no plan.
Yep.
So 5 years seems a lot off, but I have a 12-year-old's gonna be 13 in August. I'm like, that's only a few months away. I have to start planning. I'm gonna have a teenager in the house. And so you have to look forward, just like we have to look forward. I'm a Christian, so I look forward to being in heaven the rest of my life. I have to look forward to that. I have to work towards that. I can't just say, you know what, today I'm gonna be in heaven, because it ain't gonna
Exactly.
happen. I have to work for that. So you have to work for something in business. And when you make that goal, you're talking about pride. Daisha's right. When you hit that goal, you're like, dang, I made it. It will even give you more energy, more pride, more foundation. It'll just give you more of everything. And you have to have that, because we have to have that in our personal life, or we can't make it.
Yeah, I wanna chime in on that too. Like
Yes,
she was
please.
saying, as far as the 5 year goal, yes, of course, when you starting out, because you want to get some kind of way, you want to get somewhere, so you make that 5 year goal. That's the goal, and then you break it down. You have those different tasks to accomplish that goal. And like she said, you probably hit the year 3 mark, and of course, you're gonna have another 5 year goal. Many things might change. You might surpass what you want to hit before you hit 5 years. But then once you get there, you're gonna have another goal. And then that way you can track your progress of your business as well. Because a lot of people have businesses don't even make it, like she said, don't even make it until year 3.
Mm. Louis, you want to chime in?
Yes, I most definitely agree with that. As far as the with the plan, when building a brand, you most definitely need a plan. And as Glennett said, you do need a target audience as well. Um, so they kind of like broke it down a little bit better, like as far as like getting into more details. But all that goes in together. If you have a great plan, you will be able to come up with your brand, which is what Wally said, basically yourself, you're selling yourself. And then, you will be able to figure out what your target audience is, and then you will be able to know how to deal with customers a certain way because you have that plan. Um, and like Wally said, with their restaurant with them egg rolls. If I was in a situation like that, no, they could have easily just like made the egg rolls over again. Like, hey, I'm sorry for about that. We'll make you another set of egg rolls on us, and then just easily fix the issue, and they could have had a customer for life. So that all ties into basically, having a brand. Starting off with a plan first. That is important as well.
All right, Glennetta, you want to chime in? We're all chiming in.
Well, I agree with everything that they are all saying. Yes. Especially, I don't know why. I just want to go back on them egg rolls, right? So yes, listen, because I was thinking about that. I had an experience, you guys, at Panda Express, and so my honey walnut shrimp wasn't right, and so Panda Express we know has been Panda Express has been around for a while, right? They surpassed the 3 to 5 all the year mark, right? And so the customer service was awesome. When I called and I told the lady about it, she didn't have an attitude. She was very welcoming. She even apologized for it. And what did she tell me? I'm sorry, Miss Nichols. I'm sorry that you experienced it. The next time that you come, your honey walnut shrimp is on us. That melted my heart right there because honey walnut shrimp is my favorite. So again, they have a lifetime customer. I went to Panda Express today. So yes, I mean yes. It's all about it's what is it in nursing we call it empathy, or showing empathy, showing grace, showing that you do care, putting your pride aside to where you're not too prideful thinking, oh, my business is this and that and it won't do this and it won't do that and nobody can tell me this and nobody can tell me that. When we get too boastful like that and too prideful like that, that's going to lead to failure. Absolutely, hands down.
Mm. So this is some themes that I'm hearing. So I'm hearing you want to. It's not enough to. Okay, you want to start a business, but what kind of business, and how are you going to do it, and how are you going to set it up, and what is your audience, right?
I
So.
think the first thing would be, like she was saying, as far as the goals and stuff. But the first thing would be is educate yourself in any industry, because you could go on a clothing brand, but you don't know what type of clothing you want to do. You have to know what niche you want to do, and sometimes it may take you going in that industry doing those different types of clothes to find the one that you love, that you're good at, because it comes with experience. Education may not teach you all that, but at least you'll be able to start somewhere. Like if I got a clothing brand, I might want to do vinyl, or I might want to do embroidery, or I might want to do direct garment. So you have to educate yourself on these various things within that field to see what you want to do, you know. And a lot of that comes with experience as well. But you can't. It's hard to just dive into a business and think, yeah, I'm gonna be successful when you ain't got no plans, you ain't learned nothing. So how are you gonna stay afloat? And at this point, why are you trying to stay afloat? We're trying to, you know, elevate. Period. That's the goal every time.
And
Mm.
to piggyback what Dyeshia said, as far as like with the experience, that's a real big thing. When I first got in, to doing clothes and everything, I actually used vinyl for a while, and after testing it out before I sold anything, I tested it out on myself, and I seen it wasn't as reliable. It wasn't the top notch material. So I ended up switching to DTL. So certain things like that, of course you can educate yourself and look at videos and stuff, but certain things you gotta figure out on your own, and some of it will just be trial and error.
So being open to making mistakes and trial and error, like you said, just kind of making that mistake and realize, I guess, getting a feel for the waters and just being open to, I don't want to say failure, but just
I think
something.
not scared for change. That's a big one too. Not scared with change because every business is gonna change whether it grow up or down. I think that's another one as well.
Yes, open to change and open to receiving advice, open to feedback, having a plan, being as narrow in the plan as possible, finding your target audience. So those are the themes that I seem to be pulling from all of you guys. So in terms of, wait, someone just popped in. Oh, Biźñess Chīck. I think she's trying to get back on. All right, so I'm waiting for her to connect. So in terms of, I guess the thing with narrowing your goal and finding your purpose is you're not the only type of business, right? In that, like Lewis, you're not the only one that makes t-shirts. There's another girl I know that makes t-shirts, and Glennetta, you're not the only one that does financial literacy. Wallie, you're not the only one in your field, and then Dyeshia, you're not the only one in your field. So how do you set yourself apart from all the other people that exist?
I want
I
to
think
chime
I
in
could
on
probably
this one.
I think I could probably speak for everybody in here on this one. I think one reason we probably set ourselves apart is we're not competition. We're not competition to anyone. We're competition to ourselves, but we're not competing with anyone. So that what makes us, for one, very unique. A group of individuals, even with us in the same brand. And we take pride in our businesses. We take pride in our business. We have great customer services, and we are not scared of growth. We're not scared of change. And I believe I can speak for everyone else in here on that aspect. That's one thing I can say that what makes us unique. For me, I'm a energy person. So my energy is always good. I give off good energy no matter however someone comes at me. That would make my business unique, and I'm very creative. And my customer service is the number one thing for me.
Mm-hmm. We're all jumping in. Anyone else?
Yes. I want to jump in on that. So this is a scenario that I like to think about it, right? So think about when you go in the store, right? There's all these different bread brands, right? All these different bread brands, but all of these different bread brands have been around for a while. And so I like honey wheat, and Dyeshia may like honey wheat, but I may like Sarah B, and she may like what is it, Nature B? I think that's the name of it, or something like that. And so that's something to keep in mind. And then like she said, customer service and how you treat everyone that you come in contact with. How are you making yourself stand out? Oh, my customer service, my patience, my kindness, how I make sure that everyone gets an understanding of whatever it is that I have to offer them. And so there's trillions of people in this world. Do I want all trillions of those people to come just solely to me? No, I'll be crazy, right? So there's enough people in the world to spread for everyone. And just remember that it is me versus me. And that's how I see it. I think I made a post today, and I was like, yeah, I have tunnel vision. It's not that I don't see the others, but I'm just so focused on my vision to where I don't see anyone as a threat. I don't see anyone else as competition, because I'm striving to make me better and this firm better daily.
Mm-hmm. Wallie Lewis.
Oh, well, I think it's interesting that that was a good question, by the way. It's interesting because we're all in the same group, and there are several of us in the same industry, but we all get along because we know that we all, one, are business owners, and two, we're all here to make a living. Like, we don't step on each other's toes. But I think that's just the way of the world. You think about it. If you go on any street corner, you see Dollar General across from Family Dollar, CVS across from Walgreens. And guess what? All the parking lots are full. Why? Because people have choices. And I think when you give people choices, then we all get a chance to make a piece of the pie. And so if we remember that everyone here on earth has to shop somewhere. Somebody's going to shop at your store and somebody's going to shop at Z's store. But guess what? If we all collaborate and work together, might be surprised what we can do when we're on the same page versus trying to be against each other, because one day that partnership might benefit the both of us in a way that we never even imagined. But when you have people that are at odds with each other, no one's going to win, because then the mindset is going to trickle off to the customer. Remember when Lewis brought up about McDonald's, I don't know if anyone ever thought about this. Someone had a picture of McDonald's back in the 80s. It was the Ronald McDonald statues and the restaurants. And I remember this like it was yesterday. It shows my age. And it was like, yes, you saw Grimace, you saw the Hamburglar, everything, because it was made for children. Now, when you go into a McDonald's, it looks like the inside of a Starbucks. They're changing their target to, okay, we want the adults to come. That's great. But are you still appealing to the children that you started the brand for? So, when you're working with someone in the same industry, you have to look at each other and say, hey, how can we help each other? Lewis may be able to help someone in the t-shirt that's overloaded and they need to make $1,000 order of 1,000 t-shirts. But guess what? If they ask Lewis, they know they can trust Lewis to do that order for them and not take the client. But they know he would help out to make sure they make that order. Like he would be like, I'm going to make sure y'all make this order. So then you won't lose that client. So I think like what Dyeshia said, all of us learn to work together, because together is how we make everyone successful. Again, that should be part of any business model, working with others in order to be successful, because we all need each other no matter what.
Lewis?
Yes, yes. So, yeah, to piggyback off of what they were saying, people love to have different choices. You know, there may be a certain brand of, say, cereal that I like, and there may be a certain brand of cereal that Dyeshia or Wallie or Glennett likes. People love to have options, so that to me that's not no issue at all. And then on top of that, because in this group there are two other clothing brand owners, and I don't look at them as a threat. I actually, when I see them posting stuff, or when I see them doing something, that motivates me to work more on my brand. So, I see them posting some stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, okay. I need to start, coming up with designs for my clothing brand and start doing stuff for mine. So, I see it as actual motivation. And then on top of that, we can help each other out. There may be something about clothes that I may not know about, but I can ask one of the other clothing brand owners, like, hey, how did you get your mock-ups, or what manufacturers that you use, and vice versa. They can ask me something that they don't know something. I actually had some clothing brand owners actually reach out to me about them, like, hey, and it was like, hey, how you do your website like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll shoot you the information. And that, that's just how we move. We help each other out, and you're more successful that way, working as a network. And basically, that's what Set for Life is all about. And that's what our brands are all about. And then on top of that, we all have our unique identity as well.
Right. So what I'm hearing from everyone is, what sets you apart from other people is that you collaborate with other people. So it's not it's me against the world. It's more of,
We're
we'll
not
build each other
gatekeeping
up.
either.
Let's work together. How can I help you? How can you help me? Type of thing. So you don't see other people as competition. You see them as colleagues. Is that the gist that I'm getting?
That's correct.
All right, this lady just popped in. Let me just get her. All right. So Biźñess Chīck just popped in. So for my audience, she is actually a returning guest. She was on my podcast talking about mindset. I think it was a couple years ago. So she is back on the show. So let me just grab her. Hey, lady, how you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good. How you doing? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
Good. Welcome back to Hot Topics. All right, you missed the whole thing, girl, but
I know.
but
I'm
uh,
sorry.
let's try to catch you up. So just briefly, just reintroduce yourself to the audience. Tell us about yourself.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself, but I also want to answer your question that you just asked as well. So my name is Biźñess Chīck. I am the CEO for Set for Life. Set is an acronym that stands for Successful Educated Trillionaires. And what we do as a company is that we provide services for other companies. So let's say if you're a company that is in need of financial services, we offer grants. We also have where you can apply for the grant, and if you need assistance with that grant, we can have people to pair up with you to help you step by step with applying for that grant. We also offer like a global marketing strategy as well. So if you are looking to get your business out there more, you want more exposure, we offer that as well. Then we also have opportunities for you to rent out shelving space in our stores. Right now, I'm currently looking to get a store on a bigger, much more global level. So I'm currently working on that. But as I work on that, I am taking in people who are interested in that opportunity. So you can definitely sign up for that if you're interested. And another thing that I do too is I host expos. So I'm hosting traveling expos. So I'm definitely looking forward to coming to, wherever you guys are. Definitely be on the lookout for me. Look out for, Set for Life. Also look out for S4L Team Trillionaires, which is, the people that you see here right now on this platform. So be on the lookout. We definitely coming to your city. We're definitely trying to provide for the communities. We're looking to help other business owners like us. And, we're just here to be the overall support that you guys need. So if you feel like you that person that don't get any support from family, friends, or, anyone, you feel like you're all alone, you don't have to be, definitely connect with us.
Beautiful.
Thank
All
you.
right, and you wanted to take a shot at that question about
Absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
how do you set
Yes,
your
I'm
business
sorry. I
apart?
hope I didn't. I wasn't trying to cut you off, but yes, I definitely want to take a shot at that question. So when you say, when other businesses have the same product, or they offering the same service as someone else, the way I see it is like this: if we didn't have that other option available, just imagine how many people out here in this world, and everyone is just going for that one option. Eventually somebody going to end up short. So that's how I'm looking at that. So being able to have those options available is a great thing, and then again, like what they were saying, is pretty much depends on the people's choice. It depends on what people like. So that's very important too, because what someone may like, that don't mean I necessarily like the same thing that they like, or someone else may like it. So options is something that I feel like is great to have. And then also, I also want to say this too, in regards to collabing. When we look at, I know sometimes, and I'm saying this because I'm just being a genuine person, but I notice sometimes some people feel that when you have someone who sells the same product as you, they look at that as a threat. And I feel that with being a business that's starting off, from the bottom, and you're trying to work your way up, I mean, I could kind of understand why you may feel that someone else is a threat, but I feel like we also have to get out of that mindset. When you look at a lot of big companies that we have out here, we got companies like, when we talk about shoes, when I go into a mall, when you think about things like that, when you see things like that, when you walk into malls, you see multiple clothing stores, you see multiple shoe stores. So, for example, to narrow it down a little bit further, if I walk into Foot Locker, I see Nikes, I see Jordans, I see Adidas, I see all type of shoes. But when you walk into that store, all these shoes are next to each other. So once again, that's leaving it to the people's choice, whatever they choose, whatever they prefer. Maybe some shoes feel more comfortable on their foot. Maybe they more of a person that, like to be flashy. It all depends on them. But one thing I can say when it comes to companies and when it comes to collaborations, when you look at Nike and when you look at Jordan, those are two of the, and I give this analogy a lot because those are two of the main companies that people tend to purchase when it comes to shoes. I myself, I used to be a Nike fan. I love me some Nikes, but you got people out here that love Jordans. But what they decided to do was, with them being so hot in this gym shoe industry, they said, you know what? We both making a killing out here. Why not collaborate? And then that's when you got the Nike Air Jordans. And then you had people gravitating to that. So I feel like, when you collaborate, it's better, but even when it comes to collaboration, definitely be mindful of who you're collaborating with. So also take that into consideration. Just don't jump out there and collaborate with anyone. Be strategic about who you decide to, have to work with you with your business. So definitely take that into consideration. But collaborations, definitely competitions. I mean, you do have competitions out here, but with this industry and everybody selling the same thing, it's better to make friends than to make enemies.
Interesting. So anyone want to piggyback off of that? No, I think you nailed it.
Yeah. She basically put everything together.
Thank you.
So you're saying in terms of, so I guess just to clarify, is it not so much not setting yourself apart from other people, but working with other people?
Well, you want to have that little spunk, to what you do. But even though we're having your own individuality to it, you can still work with others who are, may have something similar to you, or it may not even be similar. It could be something that can coincide with something you have. So, I would say still be you, and I also feel like when customers gravitate to you, it depends on that experience you give to that customer. Because a lot of customers look at that experience that they get from doing business with you. So that's also something else to, take in consideration and to consider. But I don't feel like, you have to set yourself apart from others, because they, sell the same thing as you. I don't feel like you should do that, but I do feel like, you should be yourself, and maybe that may come off not the same as someone else, if that makes sense.
So I'm just trying to understand that. So it's so I guess you want to show your individuality in your product, right? In terms of the way you do things, customer service, how you treat people, how do you take feedback. However, not so different in that, I guess I'm trying to kind of wrap my mind around it. So it's, yes, you want to show your individuality, you want to just, so I guess it's not so much setting yourself apart, it's just letting your personality shine through.
Right. Just being
You're basically having your unique brand, but you're still collaborating with others.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I have a perfect example for that, what Biźñess Chīck brought up. I used to work at Arby's, and I loved Arby's, and I was older, so this this wasn't like my teen or early 20s when I worked there. But I started as the fry girl, and one thing I noticed was Arby's has a training program for managers. So I was asked if I want to move up to shift management, and I was like, I don't know. But the manager was like, look, we have a whole training program. We'll be with you, step by step. Well, they do. They have a book. They have a person that is with you, a person that checks and everything. And the way that they set up their restaurant and close their restaurant is the same every day, all day, anytime they're open. Um, and what I like is that they got to know the businesses around them. So next door to the Arby's where I was stationed, it was a Captain D's. And guess what? When we would run out of something and we didn't have time to go across town to the other Arby's, we would just walk out the door and go ask Captain D's. They would loan us whatever. We would walk back to our restaurant, use it. And then when we got our truck, we would walk across over there to Captain D's and give it to them back. And they kept that relationship open for years. And those are two restaurants. One sells seafood, one sells sandwiches. But we knew that we needed to help each other out. And see, when you do that, that's when you're both successful, because then you know that you can rely on someone right next door to help you when you're in need. But both of you still have the same goal of, we're running a business, we're trying to have great customer service. Because guess what? If you run out of au jus cups at Arby's and no one can have au jus with their French dip, that's a sad day, because that's the whole point of the French dip, the au jus sauce. But if we knew we could go over here to the Captain D's and borrow theirs, and they would get it back when we got our truck, then they would let us borrow a few sleeves without a problem, because they knew they would get it back. You have to have those relationships in order to be successful. I'm sorry, no business owner could ever tell me they never collaborate with someone and they were successful. It's not going to happen. It's just not. You have to have somebody to be with you along that way, because you have to have a give and take in order to be successful.
So now, going back to what you said earlier, Wallie, about making a plan, does that collaboration, is that part of the plan? So now when you're planning, are you planning to work with other people? Are you kind of planning it as your own?
You're
So how does
planning to
that
work
work with what you said earlier?
that you plan to work with others because you call it community resources. And so community resources can be other businesses. It could be colleges in a neighborhood, because you could go to, if you need workers for the summer, guess what? What's the best place to hit? But a college expo, they need jobs. So yes, that's going to be under your community resources. And you're going to want to do that on a regular basis. Radio shows. You have a podcast. What better way to showcase your business than a podcast? So yes, you're going to incorporate that, because you're going to need those people. And like I always say this, you can't run a business by yourself, because guess what? Nobody's going to notice you. You'll be the only one in there running it, and it ain't going to happen. You have to have other people in order to run it. And those people have to come in to purchase the product, and you need the people on the outside to promote the product and to have those relationships. So yes, community resources need to be part of your plan each and every time.
So, Lewis, you were talking about building a brand, having a purpose. So how does collaborating with other businesses help you with that purpose? I mean, because I figure it's your purpose, right? So how does collaborating with other entrepreneurs help you with your purpose?
Okay, so yeah, so basically, say, if I needed something, like say, because for clothing lines we need markups and stuff, right? So say if I needed some markups, right? And I'm connected to this business owner, and I see, hey, he got some good markups, and I asked him like, hey, how did you get your markups? And then they're able to tell me that's helping me achieve my purpose by showcasing my business just for giving me that type of information, and vice versa. Say if somebody came up to me, another business owner came up to me, and they don't know too much about manufacturers or how to deal with manufacturers. I can give them that information, and that can help them achieve their purpose. So just
So
by
you're go ahead.
so just by providing, different tools that we have in our arsenal, um, and giving each other different knowledge, they can help us, showcase our brand, showcase our purpose.
Oh, so you're helping someone else with their purpose, right? And in return, I guess I don't know if that's the right phrasing, but in return, they're helping you with yours.
Yes, yes. Because when it comes to especially like the clothing businesses and having online stores, there are certain tools that you have to have. There are certain things that you have to implement. And some business owners may be more well versed in those tools or in that certain area than I may be. And I can go to them for help, and they can go come to me for help. So even though we have like our unique brands, our unique purposes, we still need certain tools for us to achieve the goal that we need to achieve.
And then one person doesn't have all the tools, right? But someone else does. So if you can work with that person and then that person can work with you, then you can lift each other up.
Right, right. And it makes it a lot easier. So yeah.
Okay. And Glennetta, you were talking before about building relationships, right? So before you were talking about that fear of so many fears that a lot of entrepreneurs have. So how does collaboration and networking and how does that help someone with that fear?
Um, Collaborating and networking. You have those that that encourage you, right? So that's a part of networking. That's a part of collaborating. Then you have those that if you have a team, like we have a team, right? And everyone supports each other, everyone pushes each other, everyone encourages each other. So with that support and that encouragement and that pushing, what happens? It builds your confidence, and when your confidence increases, guess what goes out the door? That fear.
So when you have people to help you out and to uplift you, then you're not scared anymore.
Right. So say Lewis, and I'm just saying, just say Lewis, and he was like, "Oh, y'all, I'm going to present my clothing line, to a major manufacturer, a major someone who's ready to push it, and it's going to go front line, going in front of trillions." Well, us as a team, what we do is, oh, that's good. We encourage, we support, we share, we network, all of those things. And so when it's time, because whenever you're getting ready to present something in front of someone major or whatever the case may be, there is going to be fear. No doubt there's going to be fear. But when you have a team that's backing you up 100%, you forget about that fear so much. That fear where it may have been 100%, maybe 20%, and then once you begin to present it and you have that confidence because you know that it's good, you know what you're presenting. That fear is just, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a situation like that, I would actually ask, y'all, could I present it to y'all first and ask for feedback? So with our team, we'll do stuff like that. So if somebody was like, "Hey, I'm getting ready for this presentation, or I have to get ready for this," we can always come to each other and like, all right, you can practice with us and we'll give you, feedback on what you need to work on and so on.
And I want to add something to that as well. Like being like taking it from the beginning. When we start out in our businesses, we look at it like, okay, we have a little knowledge about what it is that we're doing. But if we let fear consume us, then it's when you think about that, how far can you go with fearing and how much you're fearing the whole process of having a business? I used to be a person that used to be really quiet, really shy. And when I tell people that right now today, people don't believe me. They don't believe me. But as I got older and when I realized business is something that I'm really passionate about, business is something that I really want to do, I had to break away from that fear. I had to step out there and say, in order for this to work, I have to communicate. If I don't communicate, how far am I going to get? Even when it comes to starting a business, if you in fear, maybe a business is something that you don't want to have. You know, and I'm not saying that, you know, people don't fear it, but if you do feel like you're in fear when you going into business, at some point you're going to have to, you know, you're going to have to get to a point where you're going to have to, and this is just me saying this because I'm a true believer of God, but you're going to have to step out on faith. You're going to have to add more faith. You're going to have to ask God for guidance, you know, if you unsure about something. And it kind of goes back to what Wallie was saying earlier as well, when she stated, you know, you have to have people to help you. If you're a business owner, and depending on how big you want your business to be, I mean, because I look at it like this, you know, if you don't want your business big like Amazon, big like Nike, and big like all these other corporations, then I look at it like, what's the point of doing it? And that's just me personally. But if you want to get to that point, just imagine doing all that by yourself. How far can you get? You being one person because you are in fear of asking someone for help, asking someone for support, asking someone to assist you with what you're doing, or even, you know, going to hire employees. If you're in fear, then it's like, how far are you going to get if you have a business? So at some point, you definitely have to believe in yourself. At some point, you're definitely going to have to, you know, take that leap of faith, jump out there and see what happens. It's a lot of stuff that we may feel like, you know, I don't know if I want to do this. I have done it before. I'm pretty sure all of us on here have. There's points when we feel unsure about things, but we sometimes have to take that chance. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win, but the main thing about it is we learn. And I feel like that's the main important part about when you're in business and you in fear and you don't know what may happen. It's a learning process. You learn as you go.
Absolutely. All right, we have a public comment here. I just want to make sure that we highlight that. Contact, network, all those things matter. Thank you, Connie. Thank you for your comment.
And then there's my mama, by the way.
Oh, that's your mom.
As she tuning in.
Hey, mama.
Hi, mom.
Hey.
Beautiful. All right, so we're coming to the end. So all of you, I guess let's talk about your round table. Let's highlight that. So you guys have formed what you call a round table. Can you talk to us about that? What is that?
They want me to go first, I think.
Yeah.
So the round table, it came from me having my company with Set for Life. I started Set for Life because I felt like there was a need for people or someone to provide resources to these business owners. And I came up, when I came up with Set for Life, it was during COVID when everybody was starting their own business. Everybody was in fear, like we were just talking about a little while ago. So they said, you know what? I'm going to take the leap of faith and start something on my own to make ends meet. So when they did that, and I saw how many people were out here trying to, build their own business, do their own thing, I was like, you know what? I love to help people. And I feel like a lot of these people, when I go to these pop-up shops, when I, participate in these pop-up shops, I said, these individuals are looking for more exposure like I am. Well, at least most of them. They are looking for more exposure. Chances are when you talk to, other business owners, they'll tell you, I feel like, nobody is supporting me, not even my family and friends. The real support is you get from strangers. So with knowing all that I knew, I said, you know what, I want to make a change. And then that's when I decided, let me be a resource to other business owners. Let me be that support. Let me be that, that lending hand to help them in their process. Although I am myself a growing business as well, it doesn't take away from me. It doesn't take anything away from me because I love to help people. So with doing this, as time progressed, my mentality and the things that I want progressed as well. And then I decided, going back to taking that leap of faith, I said, I am one person and I want to become a trillionaire. I want to own a multi-trillion-dollar company. I want to go global. And because I love progress. So with having that mindset, I said, I'm going to have to build a team because it's going to take a lot for me being one person handling all that by myself, trying to help communities, trying to go global, trying to help other businesses. So I decided to find a group of people who are like me, which is the people that you see here right now, people who are in alignment with me, people who share that same goal, people who really want to become successful. I decided to, you know what? I want to build a team of those people. And I want us to be that support that we want in our communities or even around the world. I also want to be that change that we all want to see in the world, pretty much, because a lot of people don't get the support that they want, especially when you starting off. So, you know what? How about this? I get these group of people, we can all support each other. And with that, and with us showing that and letting people know this is who we are, I feel that the more others see us doing it, the more others gonna want to be a part of what we have going on. And I'm really hoping to change the minds of the way a lot of people think, because you can come together, even though we may sell similar things with it, like might have a clothing line, the person in my team may have a clothing line, even though we may sell the same items or sell the same service, that don't mean we can't help each other. So I felt like, I want to put this team together to be something that people can look forward to, can be a support system. And that's how I came up with S4L Trillionaire Roundtable.
Beautiful, beautiful, awesome, awesome. A
Thank
couple other comments came in. Just want to make sure I get that from your mom. Hey, and when you're starting a business, fear can't be in your vocabulary. Very good. Thank you, Connie, for that. So that's bouncing off of what Glennetta was saying. And from another one, this is a much needed conversation. Good job, y'all. That one's from Sullivan. Thank you, Sullivan. All right, wonderful. So I'll just some people left. That's fine. So the two that are left here, I'll just ask each one of you, what made you want to join the roundtable? So I'll start with you, Lewis.
Okay, well, I kind of first got introduced to the round table, just from a expo, we was actually supposed to have in the St. Louis area. Now the expo did not work out, but we still ended up, I still ended up keeping in contact with Biźñess Chīck, and then she was like, "Hey, do you wanna join Self for Life Trillionaires?" And ever since I joined, we move as a family unit. I can say as far as like for promoting my business and just in general, is one of the best decisions I have made. And we're in the process of growing right now. and we're growing at a rapid pace. Because we're starting to get people's attention, just by the support we show for each other. Um, when they see us sharing each other posts in different groups, when they see different business owners, even though we sell the same products, um, promote each other, they looking like, dang, what is this group? What do they do? And it's sparking people interest. And I feel like, this is this is a new model that's most definitely going to spread, to where business owners are going to start see this, as more of a beneficial way, to do business, collaborating with other business owners, even though, we may have the same service, we may have the same product, but it could still it's going to be more beneficial if we work together.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Wally, what about you? What made you join the team?
Well, I was stalking Biźñess Chīck for a while on social media. I was like, gosh, she always has some good stuff to say. And so one day we actually sparked a conversation and she did a promo on my business. And so in that promo, she asked if I would be interested. And I said, well, sure. So, she gave me the rundown of what it was about. And, with this group, we do have an interview process. So it's not just, hey, you want to be a part of it, and she just clicks you in. So you do have to go through an interview and a process and be approved. And I like that because I like organization. I don't like just flim flam stuff because, again, it goes back to a business model. If you don't have that foundation, you just won't be successful. And I found it to be a family. So it's not just something you can put on your Facebook, social media. I'm a part of this group. It involves you doing work. And I say work as in not like, oh, it's a 9 to 5. It's like work, putting in work to order get stuff out of it. And it's like we're a family. We talk to each other, not just about the group, but about other issues. So I love it that all of us can contact each other. We support each other. And I feel like Lewis said, this is going to be something new. If anyone pays attention that is really looking for success, Biźñess Chīck has hit something. And I think it's wonderful and it's great. And I'm glad that they chose me to be a part of it.
Wonderful. How do you feel hearing all that, Biźñess Chīck?
I be trying to hold back the tears. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because I love these guys. Like, I love all of my members who are a part of my team. And I can't stress it enough. Like, I really do appreciate all of them. It's really hard finding people who are in alignment with you. It's very hard. And then, like, I'm gonna be honest. I probably had to let one person go since I started this team. But when I say these guys rock, like, everyone in here is on point. They're on top of things. I don't feel stressed, like having to constantly reiterate things to them or anything like that. Like, they are really committed. They are really loyal. And that's something that I've been looking for quite a while. And just to have this is like, oh my God. It's like, I have that, just saying it right now, I got that whole tingling feeling on the inside, because I do feel, and I know for a fact, we're going to go global. And besides just going global, we're all going to be successful. So I really do feel that. I see it. And I mean, like, I don't know how many times I can say thank you, but I'm going to keep saying it probably until my lips fall off or something crazy go on. But thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate all of you. You guys are doing a tremendous job. Like, even just showing up right here, right now, today means a whole lot to me, and I really do appreciate it.
So it's beautiful, right? When you have an idea in your head, and then you have to get that idea out of your head onto a screen or onto paper. And then when you finally, so taking it step by step, right, as you guys were saying earlier, and then when it finally comes together and it manifests and you see it and you see the results of it and you see the fruit of your labor, it's like, whoa.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right, all right. Well, this has been a fabulous conversation. I'm going to start to wind things down. So, since it's all about things that we're doing, well, actually, quick thing. Biźñess, I didn't get a chance to ask you. You kind of hopped in a little later, but I'll just ask you briefly. So, what do you think entrepreneurs are doing wrong? So, we talked a lot about, it's customer service, it's, having a brand, having a purpose, not just being general and saying you want to do flowers, right? So what do you want to do with the flowers, right? Being as specific as possible, building relationships, not having fear. What do you think entrepreneurs are doing wrong?
I feel that when people go into business, some people say that they are business owners, but the way I see it about how they are going about it, I feel like if you're not taking your business that serious, then it's not really something you're trying to build. So I look at that more like a side hustle. So I want to put that out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. We all have to make money. We all have to survive. I completely understand that. But I feel like one of the things that a lot of business owners lack is professionalism. So kind of going back to what you said about customer service is definitely important. Professionalism is definitely important as well. I do stress being yourself. So I am myself, but I'm also going to keep everything professional as well, as professional as possible. Know your market, know who you're targeting, know who your customers are. So that's definitely important too. When it comes to customer service, I feel like it goes back to creating that ultimate experience. Me personally, I'm not going to spend my money somewhere where I feel like I'm not appreciated, where I feel like someone is being very rude to me, where I feel like I'm uncomfortable. You definitely want to create that ultimate experience. It's almost like walking into someone's house. If you feel uncomfortable, you don't feel like a guest in their home, I don't think you're gonna stay there. I think you're gonna walk right back out the door. And that's pretty much like how it is when it comes to businesses. Even if you don't have a storefront, even if you're at a vending expo and you're selling your merchandise, treat that the same way. I notice sometimes, and this is not me trying to come off, like I'm targeting certain people, but I do want to educate you all. And I'm still learning myself. I'm not saying that I'm an expert, but some of the things that I noticed when people are at like these vending expos, I noticed some people are in their phones. Some people may look angry, and that's not how you want to come off. Presentation is definitely everything. You have to smile. If someone walk past, greet them with a smile. Hey, how are you today? Compliment them. Be nice, because no one wants to be around anyone they feel like has a negative vibe to them. So you definitely want to keep those things in mind. Professionalism is definitely key. That's another thing. We have to be more professional when it comes to handling business, when it comes to, doing certain things. People would definitely try to judge you instantly. And it's a sad thing that people do that, but we can't change how people are. But definitely want to be professional and also have a plan in place when it comes to having a business. And one of the things that I feel like is really, really important, whatever you decide to do, make sure what you're doing is something you're passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, it's like, I'm a person that I see myself really full time in my own business. I really don't want to have to work for anyone else. So with that being said, it's almost like if you get that feeling, and this is for everybody, if you get that feeling every morning you get up, or if you work nights, every night you got to go to work and you feel like, man, I got to go back in today. And you constantly feel like that, then maybe you're doing something you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. And I want you guys to figure out what it is you really like to do. Whatever it is you really like to do, tap into that and try to make something out of it. It don't necessarily have to be your own business. It could be anything. But when it comes to business owners, definitely do something you're passionate about, and also try to keep up with what the trend is. Keep up with what's trending right now, because you may have something that you're trying to offer someone and it may not be something that people want. So do your research, check into it, see if it's something that's really marketable, something that you can sell. And I would say, once you figure all of that out, then just try to go from there. Even if you're, and another way, I want to add this, I'm sorry. If you're unsure about something, you can always do like a test, like a survey type of thing. If you like, I don't know if this is going to work, I want to try it just to see, you know, maybe you get a group of people together and have them, test your product out, or use them as a survey group, or however you want to do that, to see if it's something that people will be willing to purchase. Before you jump and like spend a lot of money into something that you don't know if it's going to work. So really see if it's something that's going to work too. So that's something else that you want to look into.
Wonderful, wonderful. You said a whole mouthful there, girl. All right. So now we're going to start to wind things down. So on my shows, I like to ask my guests to share any words of wisdom. So I'm going to pose that question to all of you. Wallie, I'll start with you. Do you have any words of wisdom that you like to share with our audience at this time?
Yes. Always do your best each and every day that you get up, because you never know when that best is going to help the rest. And that's my word of wisdom.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, Lewis, I'll go to you. Words of wisdom.
All righty, my words of wisdom. Since we was talking about fear earlier, I do want to mention this. When it comes to networking, and you have fear, the more you do it, the more it will become second nature. So the more you put yourself out there, the more you connect with people, it's going to be second nature, to the point you don't even think about it no more. It's just going to be a normal thing for you. So those are my words of wisdom.
Beautiful, beautiful. And finally, Biźñess Chīck, words of wisdom.
Okay, y'all, I'm gonna keep it short because I know I've been talking a lot, but I would say words of wisdom would be to, whatever you decide to do, think it all the way through. Think it all the way through first. And, just don't jump out and do anything. Really check and see what you're trying to do, what you're trying to get into, and believe in yourself. Whatever it is that you want to do, believe that you can do it, believe that you can make it happen. No matter what odds may be set against you, is not impossible. It's not impossible. Even the word itself says, I'm possible. So always remember that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. And we got another comment here on that note. Consistency. That's right. So you definitely want to be consistent.
Yeah, that's my uncle right there. My family coming through.
You're bringing family, your family
Yeah.
coming through. Hey, uncle. All right. Fabulous, fabulous. All right. Well, this is a fabulous episode. Thank you guys for coming through and sharing your words of wisdom. Mom is popping in. Awesome. You'll all do great. Beautiful. All right. Thanks, Mom. All right. So thank you guys for coming on Hot Topics and giving your words of wisdom and your advice and talking about entrepreneurship. And, for the entrepreneurs or entrepreneur dreamers, they're listening to this episode, or if you are listening to this episode, hopefully you are taking all this advice and you are putting it into action. So thank you guys for coming on Hot Topics and the first ever collaborative episode. So thank you guys for helping me out with that as
Thank
well.
you.
All right, it is promo time. So let's jump ahead to the promo part of the show. All right, so Wallie, I will start with you. Let me put up your banner here. All right, so please promote yourself.
Well, again, I'm the owner of Affiliate Girl 2023. What I do is affiliate marketing, aka digital marketing. So I love to market your products on my website for people to buy them. So I'm that girl that you would hire to actually take pictures, videos, to post it on social media. I am the product pusher. So that is Affiliate Girl 2023.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And yes, I'm just going to put your banner back up here. And Wallie, you can find her. She's all over the place. You can find her on Facebook. She's on Instagram. She's on Threads. And was it YouTube? Yes. She is also on YouTube. So for those of you watching right now on video, her information is at the bottom of the screen. If you are listening to this on a podcast, the information is in the description. So I encourage you to check it out. All right. And that goes for everybody here as well. The information is on the screen. For my video people, for my podcast people, it is in the description. So make sure you check it out one way or another. All right. So Lewis, I will get to you. All right. Promote yourself.
Alrighty, my name is Lewis. I am the CEO of Fly by Night Apparel. Our motto is work hard by day, get fly by night. It's a clothing brand dedicated to motivated individuals. You can check me out on Instagram, YouTube. I will have more content coming out on YouTube real soon. The website flybynighapparel.com is now open to take orders. There will be more merchandise coming on there soon that you will be able to order. Or if you would rather just hit me up on Facebook or hit me up on Instagram and DM me if you want to make an order or if you have any questions, be free to contact me.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. And Biźñess Chīck, go ahead and, let me get your banner up. So let you go ahead and promote yourself.
So I am Biźñess Chīck. I am the CEO for Set for Life. And right now I do have a 100% free promo opportunity for business owners. So if you're a business owner and you're looking to gain more exposure, these all are 100% free and it's done digitally. So it's all online. And if you have that connection, you have social media, I would say definitely reach out to me. Definitely reach out to me on Facebook, on Instagram, whichever one you prefer. Tap into this 100% free promo opportunity. I am sharing each person's video that I do. I save them and then I share it 125 times. Another thing that we're doing, the flyers, we're passing out flyers. We got like over 1K of flyers that we're going to distribute in different cities and different states, such as New York, Chicago, Missouri, Florida, Virginia, Texas. So a lot of different places. We're going to distribute these flyers out too, and we're going to make sure we're being strategic about it. But your video will be placed on that flyer. So if you're looking for more exposure, definitely reach out to me, and that's part of our basic service package as well. So contact me, reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for that. There were a couple of other people here. They're not with us. So I'm just going to take a quick moment and promote them quickly. So Glennetta Nichols, let me just kind of read her bio real quick. She was born in Louisiana, but she relocated to Port Arthur 4 years ago. Her background is 14 years as a nurse and 1 year in financial professional industry. She specializes in retirement solutions, college planning, asset protections, and financial literacy. Her passion is to educate the community with the literacy that was so freely given to her. So if you're looking for any of those services, if financial literacy, college planning, if that's along the areas of, maybe that's something that you're looking for, or maybe you know someone who's looking for it, I encourage you to connect with her. She is on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. So make sure you check that out. Is pretty much some version of her name, of Glennetta Nichols. So that information is on the screen right now. Again, if you are watching this on video, but if you are listening to this on a podcast, the information is in the description. So I encourage you to check that out. But Glennetta Nichols, she is your girl for that. And the other one who is here with us is Dyeshia Moore. Let me just get her bio. I have it. I know I have it. Okay. Dyeshia Moore, she is a veteran business owner and a mother of 3 beautiful children. She is the owner of Black Tie Affairs LLC, which is an event planning company. She conducts event decorations and event rentals for various events. She conducts community events as well. So if you are looking for an event planner, I know that's like hot and popping right now. You don't want to put on your own events. You want to just kind of outsource. Sometimes it's, you know what, you just want to outsource it. Sometimes you just want to hire somebody. You don't want to do it yourself. Check out Dyeshia and her services. Her information is also on the screen as well. So make sure you check out that information. She's on the web, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, I believe, and TikTok. Yes, TikTok. So as long as TikTok is still here, make sure you check her out on TikTok as well. So if you are looking for any of those services, make sure you connect with her as well. I believe she is location specific. So I may want to double check that. Biźñess Chīck. Where does she
Everywhere.
everywhere?
Yep. Everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay, so never mind. So she is all, all over the place. So so make sure. So if you're looking for any kind of event planning services, make sure you connect with her. Her information is on the screen right now. Beautiful. All right, you guys. Thank you again for coming on Hot Topics. I appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Have a good weekend.
All right, you too. All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So that was a lot of information. That was I definitely got a lot out of it as well. I hope you guys did too. So on that note, let me take a moment to remind you about us. So my name is Gabrielle Crichlow. I'm not sure I said my name. I apologize if I didn't, but my name is Gabrielle Crichlow. I'm the owner and director of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services, and I'm the one that's putting on this podcast called Hot Topics. So let me just remind you that my company, A Step Ahead Tutoring Services, is the producer of this podcast, Hot Topics. So if you have a child right now, there's a lot going on. It's testing season right now, so maybe it's your child needs prepping for the SATs, especially now that they're going digital. There's here in New York it's called Regents, but you may have a state exams. If you need any kind of test prep, hit us up. Our website is www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. We do in-person sessions but only for our local area, New York City and Long Island. But we do offer virtual services across the country as well, across the United States. So if you are looking for any kind of test prep services, we also do one-on-one tutoring as well for homework assistance, or just kind of your child is falling behind and you want to catch them up. You know, they need a little push. So, you know, we're the people for you. So hit us up again. Website is www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. You can also find us on social media. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, also known as X. We're also on TikTok as well. So please follow us on social media. Check us out. So we also do, what else do we do? We do editing and proofreading, one-on-one tutoring. We do college prep. We do test prep. We have some workshops. So we do a variety of educational assistance. So if you need any of that, hit us up again and our tutors will connect with you. And one last thing I want to do before we close out, I want to encourage you guys to leave your feedback. I definitely want to know your feedback about this episode today. So please take a moment, drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know your feedback about this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you miss something? Maybe I missed something. Whatever it is, take a few minutes right now. Drop your comment in the comment section below or in the comment thread. If you're listening to this on a podcast, take a moment and drop that rating. So it helps us out. So the more that you comment, the more that the robots will find us. So help the robots find us. Please take a moment and drop your comments below in the comment section. So I definitely will appreciate your feedback. All right, you guys. So this has been an informative episode. Thank you again for joining me on Hot Topics. I look forward to you joining me on the next episode of Hot Topics. Thank you again. And now I am signing out. Bye, you guys.